Hello, my name is Frances Fox, and I am a trained remote viewer. I ran a business for 30 years. It's still open 50 years later. I built very strong foundations when I work on things that I love, and I love what I do now, which is sharing information. Today's a holiday in the United States, but I have not been with you or done a map of the United States for several days, and there's an awful lot going on. So I felt it would be important to do the map, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the map. But before I do the map, in addition to being a remote viewer, I'm trained in all the psychic skills. I have a degree in political science. I ran a business that became very large for the nature of its business, not large compared to a lot of other businesses. Um, I decided to incarnate at this time, as did all of you, because I knew that this would be an important time for the planet and that we need a lot of people here to anchor stability to the best of our abilities. Even as we have been deprived of information, we didn't know that we chose to incarnate. We're not allowed information on our past lives unless we look for it actively, etc. But I'm not going to waste time on that. Let's go to the map. And before the map, you know that I have sketched for several months. I have been sketching. This is not today's map. I have been sketching these, which are pyramids, Mayan pyramids that are coming up from the floor in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of, you know, what? Gulf of America. And then I have sketched these waves, and who knows what they are. But it turns out that in March, and I'm not going to rifle through all my pages now to tell you exactly when it was that I started sketching those pyramids, but since March, science has been semi hysterical because the floor of the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico is collapsing. Now, how can the floor in the ocean collapse? It's collapsing. They don't know if there's going to be a tsunami, they don't know if there's going to be a volcano, and it's not just in one place, there's big sinkholes. And then I remembered I've been sketching that whatever's down there is coming up. Well, for it to come up, it's got to go through something. Um, we're in Revelations. So these pyramids are getting revealed. Are they also coming up physically? Something's going on um, with the floor in the floor of the Gulf of Mexico, and I have diagnosed that it is Mayan pyramids coming up and that they offer stability. Also, at the same time I was sketching that, I was sketching these frequency movements, but in green, which means orderly, heart chakra, not a disaster. And this is good. Okay, so I think what I want to say is that even though I sketch a lot of weird things on these maps, I sketch what I see, not what I want, not what I think and I don't stop sketching things just because I don't want to upset all of you or because I don't want to upset myself by sketching all the stuff that I don't understand. What I have found out through the years is that I'm very accurate and that maybe we need to pay attention to what it is that I'm sketching. And I'm getting a little bit tired of sitting here in this desk with this chat and I'm getting like zero feedback. When I do this for private company, I make a lot of money. When I do it here, I make $0. I'm okay with that as long as I know that you're listening. So, some feedback, please, would be a really good thing. Not just for my self-esteem. You're listening, right? And you're watching and you're paying attention. You saw those pyramids I sketched. And now, if you go and look up Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, what the scientists are hysterical about, there were several pieces in the news about that. Completely, I don't watch the news, by the way. In terms of my training as a remote viewer, I was not allowed to watch television or to read magazines because when you have information on something and then you have to read it, your information is polluted. And I told you that after my control died, I used to watch TV through a mirror. And my bed was here. On the other side of the room was a TV set, and on this wall was a mirror for putting on my makeup, whatever. And if I sat on my bed, I could look at the mirror and I could watch TV, at which time I was obeying the instructions and the protocol. I do watch TV, but I don't watch news. So I did not know that the scientists are hysterical because something really dramatic and very big is happening in the Gulf of Mexico to the ocean floor, which is where these pyramids are coming up. Next, map today. Okay, we have the pyramids coming up. This is good. These are the pyramids. They're red at the top. Not good. Fire, crown chakra fire, not good. United States has the Galactic Federation protection, but only on part of the United States. What is that? Well, this vibration cannot be any good because the reason we got this protection is because we were vibrating well, the whole country. What happened? I don't know. Then I get, oh, the words. I guess this is for Trump. Pay attention to how you handle Venezuela. What does that mean? I don't know. But what I can offer is we're in the age of Aquarius. The energies of the age of Aquarius are supported. The way we used to do business is no longer supported. If we treat Venezuela the way everybody's treated Venezuela, let's see how we can control it. And that way we can get our oil and we can get the precious stones and gold and whatever. If we do that, it's not going to go well. So pay attention to how you handle Venezuela. I don't think that message was for me, even though I do a lot with Venezuela, with the Mantrista movement. We do a lot of mantras, and they're telling me, because I don't look at the news, that things are moving along very nicely. What I told my followers was don't just sit there being depressed about the dictator. Do the mantra for him to leave gracefully, which is what the mantra we did for the United States in the election, that it be won gracefully and that the results be so obvious that there'd be no, that happened. I'm not saying it happened because of us, but that was the mantra. So what I told my followers is he's going to leave. So start creating the reality you want. What business you want to go into? Who do you want to visit? Who do you want to come visit you? What do you see for your country? Don't just sit and wait. And then when the guy leaves, then you start to create your reality. You create it every second of the day. So something big with Venezuela. Got it? Then we have these spaceships, which are lavender, which means they're the good guys, but they're not on this part of the United States. What's going on? I don't know. But and then the words Canada, gone. Canada, arrow down, gone, arrow down. Now, there's something weird going on in Canada, and I think probably there's some people that know, and maybe that's why, in my opinion, Trump has been really weird with Canada. And a couple of other people that know a heck of a lot more than I do about politics have been really weird about Canada. Something weird's going on, but definitely something weird is going on and not positive. Canada, arrow down, the word gone, arrow down. Texas and Florida looking really good. I think this is Maine, red, but we know that Maine has been an issue. The people there are not happy. By the way, you should ice down Maine. Visualize ice in Maine so that the guys that could behave poorly won't have the fire that would give them the impetus to do underhanded stuff or try to create a war or whatever. So ice down Maine. I don't know what to do about the West Coast because we do have the protection here. We do have this. We do have this. What's going on there? I don't know. But I think I don't want to know. So Kennedy is, I don't know if he said it or if everybody's telling him to do it, but he's going to look for the cause of autism. So I started my career on TV as talent, what they call talent, because I took care of autistic kids and I was very successful with autistic kids. Now, don't send me any autistic kids. That was 30 years ago. things are different. I don't know what's going on. But I do have a whole box of probably 20 or 30 files where I sketched the kids visit after visit after visit and the changes that they had. I'd be more than glad to contribute whatever, but there needs to be a protection because I do not trust the issue of autism. Two people are the issue, two situations. The parents, they didn't like it when I said cell phones help to contribute to the issue. I'm not saying it caused it. That's not what I found in the 90s. They didn't like it. They didn't speak to me again. I was persona non grata. So I'm going to tell you the story now. Got it? I spent 2 years taking care of mainly autistic kids. I ended up TV, very successful. I got 5 kids out of autism whose doctors said that they were no longer autistic. These doctors, none of them were informed that the parents had taken their kid to somebody different than them, which was me. And actually, the news magazine show on Univision did a segment on autism, on me and autism. They chose the autistic kid. They wouldn't let me even speak to the parents, which is fine. I don't need the way I work. I'm not. So they came to my office with the kid, the parents, the cameras. I took care of the kids. It lasted maybe 15 minutes, very short. They left. Everybody fine. I said, and they said, we'll get back to you. They got back to me. They said the segment's coming out, whatever. This was years ago. And I went, okay, how was it? It's really good. I said, okay. So I watched it on TV together with everybody else. It turned out that they went to that family's home 2 weeks after I took care of the kid. The family, the parents were crying. They were so happy. The kid was singing with them. The kid was connecting with them, looking at their eyes. Oh my God, this was incredible what Francis did. This was on TV. And for that same segment, which was really long for a magazine show, they interviewed the kid's doctor. Oh, great. And the kid's doctor looked at the camera and said, if anybody is stupid enough to spend their money on somebody like her doing that, you know what can we do? Well, they had it on camera. They had the kid on camera singing. They had me giving the healing, but you can't see anything in healing. Da 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 da. Okay, this is a great story. I've said it before, but I'm still shocked, so I'm going to say it again. So the kid totally changed with one 15-minute healing. Okay. The parents make an appointment. They come back. I had offered them, and I wasn't paid for the initial visit, that I would take care of the kid free of charge. They were immigrants from Venezuela. Very nice couple. I mean, I'm still shocked. And the parents said, okay, we'll be back, my husband and I, because we're having some troubles. And I went, no, 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 no. I'll take care of the kid for free. Not therapy. Oh no, we're the ones that need help. I never saw them again. I was shocked. Their kid was autistic. The doctor was on camera. I didn't handle any of that. They didn't come back. That's type of thing happened too many times with the autistic parents. It's like there's something about autism that also creates a lot of weirdness with the parents. After that, and a couple of more incidents, I said, you know what? I'm not getting any place because I do not want my job to be taking care of sick kids. It's too painful. I want to set up the protocol for when kids are sick. And I have done that, and it's been really good. And as I've told you all, the Mantrista movement started, we all got together and it was complaining, our kids, what RFK is saying now, our kids are sick. Complaining. We didn't say our kids were sick, but they're not sleeping. Oh, the spirits don't want me to talk about this. Okay. Anytime this starts, the spirits are doing. The kids are not sleeping. They're violent. They're not going to school. They don't want to study. They're always fighting. And that was every week, to where once a week, Monday nights at 8, we would have a session. I don't know if it lasted 2 or 3 years. Every Monday, take care of the kids. We don't do it anymore. And anytime somebody comes into the group, and there's always several hundred people, oh, my kid, I need help. We go and speak to the other women and men and do the music, and you'll get it taken care of. And it's true. It's no longer the biggest issue for all of us. Our kids out of control because we learned that we had to adjust the environment that the kid was in, that the frequencies in the environment be supportive and healing rather than what it is right now, which is a nightmare. But try to speak to somebody about that. If they have an autistic kid, you're not going to get any place. So, anyway, we quit with that, and then we don't spend much time with the kids anymore, other than if there's a shift, like right now with a new type of spirits coming in, we shift the music. Like the music we've done lately has had the Schumann resonance in it, and it's been very much for the heart center because that's the center that's getting attacked with heart parasites, like the dogs. But I'm not going into that now. So I'm more than willing to work on the autism. As I used to say to people, you line up 100 people and there's three that are autistic, I'll look and I'll go, that one, that one, that one. It's very easy for somebody like me to see because it's a configuration of the mind strings, the strings that are talked about in the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. So, but mainly what I want to say is we need to give RFK a lot of protection. I'm telling you, the parents of the kids can be complicated. And then the last story on autism, and we'll go on to something else. In that 2 years that I took care of autistic kids, I have a session. I used to see people actually in person, and they came in, and the parents sat down, and I was there, and the kids sat on this little massage table, whatever. I never touched the kids. I just, but rather than having to look down, I'm sitting on the table, and I'm getting ready to kind of look, and I had a tape recorder that I would tape record, and all of a sudden, a spirit shows up. An ET shows up. And I'm like, okay, now what do I do? This was decades ago. Not I'm very sophisticated now with spirits and ETs. I wasn't at that point. And I was like, okay. And they said, this one's ours. Don't even try. This one's ours. And I looked at the ET spirit, because all the ETs are spirits, and I went, okay, okay. And I turned to the parents and I said, listen, I always say what I see, what I get. There's an ET here. It's like a spirit. And they were Hispanic, so the spirit thing did not throw them. And he says that your child belongs to them. I'm not going to be able to do anything. And they went, oh, okay, so what are you going to do? I said, I'm not going to do anything. I don't even know where to start having to do with dealing with an ET that is saying to not even bother to try to take care of the kid. Well, but we can't leave it like this. I said, I have to leave it like this because I don't know what to do. And I don't do messes. I don't get involved in something where I have no idea what's going on. So very soon after that, I stopped taking care of children with autism. But maybe that's a clue. Maybe that message that ET gave me is a clue of the whole issue with autism. I don't know. I'm sharing what I have. Okay? You know how I've told you that you only have a problem if you need it? Well, my handler, it would appear, is gone. And remember that it took me like 5 years to get him off of me. And every time it was like, oh my God, why do I still need this man? What am I learning? I learned so much about black magic, which I am teaching all of you about magic. But the place I've learned the most is with black magic that's done to me, my family, my followers, whatever. So the last thing that happened with my handler and with Adam Schiff was that they had mind strings implanted in me that controlled me. Okay, I kind of knew this like a year ago, and the other day I found a sketch and I went, oh my God. And if I can find the sketch, I will show you And if I don't find it today, I'll show you tomorrow. So I'm doing the horoscopes. And no, I didn't do the horoscopes. The day before the horoscopes, somebody who's a follower, not a follower, she's into black magic, totally. We already had our run ins, da, 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 and she's back. But she went ahead and asked for me to check her third eye, which is what I was doing for everybody in that particular session. Everybody that, I said, who wants a third eye sketched? And they would say, no, do it. She has the ability, and she has done what I was trying to figure out, how Adam Schiff and how my handlers, how they did that to me. She had those strings in her third eye, but connected to gods and goddesses from mythology. Now, you go, yeah, okay, that's fine. You can say that. I happen to know that those are essences that are very much alive in the other dimensions. You don't believe that? That's okay. But I can't change the story. Once I start changing the story to adapt to your belief system, I can no longer lead you to where it is that you need to go, which is to live multidimensionally, because you are multidimensional. You're only living on the physical dimension, then you go to church on Sunday. But you're multidimensional 24 hours a day. So I am reading this for her. She has managed to hook into, and I was so shocked that I didn't get the names of the people like Anubis and Osiris. I mean, we're talking, I I am going to do that later on tonight so that I will be able to say she was able to hook onto these people. So, of course, they'd be able to hook onto me. So, the whole issue of why did this woman come back to put in my face again? There's something still I need to know. And I think this whole thing about those mind streams is going to be one of the biggest discoveries, shocking discoveries in the history of the United States. And I'm getting a no on that. Somebody from Congress that I saw the other day, and I could see all the stuff that was inserted into him, and I feel bad. But I also know that even if I said it and somebody said it to that person who's a male, that male would say, that's not accurate. It is not easy to have to admit that you're a mind control victim and that you've done entirely too many things that weren't your choosing. It's really bad for your self esteem to tell an adult male, and this is not is beyond adult, that they're a mind control victim, they're totally controlled. It would take them a long time to be able to adjust to it. So for me sharing that with you, I'm not getting any place. I get myself into trouble, but I'm not helping you at all. I'm just telling you that when we get all of this figured out, and I'm going to get it figured out very quickly, we are going to be in shock. And then we go into the whole thing of who's responsible. This is a planet of free will. Okay? Vivian, I'm not talking about the one that didn't let me see her third eye. I'm talking about the one that I did see her third eye. It's in the chat that I did, I think, on Friday spontaneously. How's your third eye doing? So you can see it, Viviana. Unless she's very good friends with the people from YouTube and they took that part out, because they've done that to me with some of my chats when I've said the name of somebody important, such as the guy who's in charge of all the microwave weapons in Miami. They went in and they took it out. Anyway, so the whole thing, and this is the issue of the matrix, because these are matrix implants. I'm going to show you what this person looks like in Congress. Okay? And it is yuck shocking. I don't think I would have thrown that away, would I have? No, I wouldn't. Give me a second, because I think I did throw it away. Isn't that interesting? Why would I have done that? Not here. Here, oh, look. This is not what no, that's not it. That's not it. I tried to, um, you know what? Give me a second and I'm going to try to find it because I think we're going to, the whole matrix thing, I think I'm going to figure it out. I mean, I already did, but I'm going to figure out, here it is. Oh God, it's really bad. It's disgusting. This person literally looks like this. Okay? Literally looks like this. In the matrix, it's just one in the back of the neck. That is not the way it is in reality. So you could say, well, Frances, come on. Why is she now? Frances is inventing things. Why would I invent things? I have so many interesting things to talk about. Why on earth would I invent that? I didn't. It's real. And these are people running the country. They're not looking so great now. And I wrote that book called Sex, We Have to Figure It Out. I need to write another book. The Matrix, we figured it out. So we are being controlled to such an extent. Let me see if I can find that other graphic that I think. No. Yeah. No. I'm not going to find that now, so we're not going to waste your time. I will get it for you to see. And it was a graphic I had said, I'm not sure that I had said it here, but when I was in the, about a year and a half ago, when I was really dealing with my handler and I discovered these matrix implants, I sketched them and I sent it to several people because they were hooked to him, not that they wanted to be hooked to him, through these matrix mind stream implants. This is bigger than a bread box. You know what? I need to see if that's also happening with autism. I don't know. Anyway, and now I'm going to say something else. And every time I say stuff like this, I go, God, maybe I'm really stepping over a line, and I'm going to get cut down. My dolphins said to me, "Do not eat wheat." Okay, well, I already know that I'm allergic to wheat. I look 10 years older when I eat wheat, and I look 10 years younger when I don't eat wheat, and I'm not swollen. And it's genetically modified. And we all know that if you go to Europe and you walk and you eat all this food and wine and drink, and you lose weight, and then you come back to your country, the United States, and you eat less, you're on a diet, you go to the gym, and you put on weight. Why? It's the food. Okay, great. So my master said, don't eat wheat. Well, I already know that. What's the big deal? Do not eat wheat. Okay, I won't eat wheat. So the other day I was on with the followers, the Montristas, and I went to them. I said, I'm not going to be able to find that either. But I said, what's the thing with the wheat? And they said, it's a programming. And the programming can be triggered. The modification is a programming at a structural level of wheat. Wheat, the staff of life in the Bible, is structurally different and set up to be programmed. It is programmed, and somebody can flick a switch, and I'm not sure what that program will do. And so my followers were, okay, so what mantra do we do to purify the wheat? I said, there is no mantra. Well, why can't we purify it? Because it's not a quality, it's not a characteristic, it's the actual structure of the wheat. I have noticed something very different, and then we're going to go ahead and do a mantra and we'll call it quits so everybody can get back to if they have a holiday barbecue or whatever. Oh, my mind just slipped. By the way, that woman that came back who knows how to do the matrix thing to people in the other dimensions that may never have had a body but have always existed. But where was I going? She did this to me the other day. I couldn't remember things. And then my followers were checking her, and she was creating spiraling energy that was affecting me. There we go. Thank you. You know that I'm still closed in my house. I don't have my federal mail list not open completely. I get stuff, but from people, whatever. You don't need to know that. My mind is going again. So anyway, I'm seeing entirely too much on TV because I can't go out. It's the only thing I can't go even to my little patio. So okay, there goes my mind again. Chirp. So then I noticed about a month ago that these tarot card readers that I'm seeing on YouTube, on my big screen TV to entertain myself, they actually have a lot of great information. A lot of them are really good. I don't see anybody in particular. It's like there are dozens of them. But there's a storyline that doesn't quit. And there went my mind again. So about a month ago, I thought all of these card readers that I don't pay, they don't know me, we don't talk to each other, I'm seeing it on TV, they have so much accurate information about me. You know, astrology is real, psychic ability is real. They never talk about the sex trafficking or the mind control stuff. That's like really weird. Hmm. I just let it float. And then it wasn't until a couple days ago I realized, oh my God, the entire country is under mind control having to do with those issues. That's why it's black magic, the whole country. That's why all the sex trafficking, all that stuff that's coming out in the Diddy trial and the Epstein, that's why it was able to continue. It wasn't that people tried not to see it, it's because black magic works and putting people to sleep on certain subjects works. Anybody who knows anything about black magic knows that. I actually don't know how they do that. How do they go into the head and then they section off that piece? And this is what you're not going to be able to see. I don't know how they do that because I don't do black magic, but I'm going to find out. But the important thing to know is there is huge black magic done on the whole sex trafficking, sexually sick whatevers. It's black magic. That's why people can't see it. It's said and then it disappears. It's said and then it disappears. It fades away. You forget. I'm not sure that we should take off that black magic because I think we'll all collapse under the weight of the information and go, what the hell was the matter with me? I can tell you that from my own life as a mind control victim and the people around me. It's like, what? They don't make you dumb. They have the ability to very specifically put things behind veils. But something as big as sex trafficking in the United States, maybe it's across the planet. So we need to really move quickly and find out all this stuff about the black magic and then go, okay, so then in terms of good intentions, this is how we would use that. In terms of erasing the mind, you shouldn't use it on anything. When you have a trauma, you have to work it through with a mantra because you have to pull it out of your tissue. It's not just cover it so that you don't think about it because your body's still going to get sick. So interesting. So I would say that we have to pay attention to the Gulf of Mexico, and I think I don't know what to say about this, except that I think we got some troubles, but we have protection, but not all of us, and we have a lot of protection, but not all of us. Okay. You know what? Let's do the mantra, even though I'm afraid. Because honestly, if you look at this and you actually take it in, you go, oh my God. There's an awful lot to worry about. We chose to come in at this time. Our intention creates reality. That can be recreated. People have to do it. Let's do the mantra, even though I'm afraid. And you guys can go ahead and start. And for the mantrisas that are here, at 8 o'clock, we have the chat on the heart chakra in Spanish. This is the mantra. It's a purification mantra. Even though I'm afraid, I love and accept myself. Let's do 7 minutes. The usual 7 minutes. It's the solar plexus, which is the garbage can of emotions. Okay. I did find I did find uh, the matrix information, and I'm trying to get it the at least one statement put up here. No, I'm not able to do it. Okay, I did find it with the sketch, so I'll have it tomorrow, and you'll be able to see it. But I'm going to read it for you. 1 second. Uh, The Matrix, a map to our enslavement. The movie The Matrix was not science fiction, it was a map to our enslavement. Remote viewer Francis Fox has mapped psychic mind stream implants from Orion to the human liver that are what the movie The Matrix was alluding to. A psychic implant that's a tube like hose that, once implanted in a human being, completely changes them. Let me read the rest of it. It's common knowledge in the original medicines of the planet that health is a balance of the elements of air, water, fire, and earth, or fuel that the mind strings use to create reality on the physical dimension. When there is more of one element than the other, the person is really sick. The mind stream implants from Orion channel a tsunami of these characteristics into the individual. Not just the fire element, but the energies of paranoia, hate, desire to harm others, desire to eat the enemy, desire to cause fear and shock. An excess of the fire element fuels and manifests things such as insomnia, anxiety, irritability, frustration, anger, hate, emotional violence, physical violence, murder, and suicide. We don't need to ask if these characteristics have augmented lately, as we're seeing it in our homes, offices, and in the news. Darn, I don't remember what the date is on that particular document, but I will get it up on the website and get you the link to it. Um, Matrix, a map toward enslavement. And that's where I had the sketch of my handler, and then I had all these uh, implants going to different people to try to warn them. And of course, in one ear and out the other, I'm the problem, I'm paranoid, whatever. Very difficult to have advanced knowledge. Really, really difficult. But anyway, we will be back tomorrow, and let's see where we go. And I hope you did have a nice weekend, a nice holiday weekend. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. I set up my first event in Spanish, in English. And it's the event that's the most important, which is the one for your head. And the name of the event is Detox Your Head. And it is, that's interesting, on Thursday at 12 noon. And it's $30, and we don't give refunds. We don't even talk to people who complain about what they got or they didn't get. You want to take the chance, invest $30. You pay attention to how you feel before and your ability to think, to stay focused, and then you check yourself out afterwards. But I don't want to hear it. I don't need to do this. I'm doing this to help. But I'm not going to deal with entitled people. So, forewarned, you might want to try it. And you also, if you have a kid or somebody that you know that's out of it, not somebody who's completely crazy, because this is not going to take care of that. But if you have like a kid that can't keep their focus, you can pay, and that purification that I'm going to do, that detoxing of the head, will go to that person. And you know what they were like before they got that purification, that detoxification. And it might be a worthwhile investment. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to set things up to be able to help out. Okay? Thank you for joining me. Bye.